What's up, everyone? I am so sleepy. So sleepy right now. It's not even funny. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? It's another episode of D&D&Chill. Good night. And as you can see, we got some stuff on the screen. Not necessarily stuff I actually care about talking about right now. But I do have something underneath all that. My God, Minecraft. Yeah, I saw that. I actually do want to look at that. I'm very curious because I remember when they talked about that during a their whole their like big update thing, and I do want to look at this. Where's the sleepy ghost emoji? That's a good call. I don't know. I put one together. Can I actually do? I don't even know how to do sleepy. Just lines. I don't know. Funny enough, I actually do want to fully revamp all of them. I know it's like not possible to tell as small as they are, but man, I know the dimensions are not perfect. Also, one of them is like 100 pixels bigger on all, or 11 pixels bigger than on all edges. Lines. All right, hold on. All right. Yeah. Lines and a little snoozing Z. Why can't it's weird that it doesn't actually show you all the menus I have open. Like I have my history, my layers, my colors, and my toolbar up here, and that's weird. All right, so we're gonna select this, and wrong layer. We're gonna select that, and we're gonna copy it onto its own layer, so we can now edit that. And what we'll do is we'll simply paint over that in the background, and then we'll duplicate this just so I don't lose anything. So all right, so let's clear that out. Just give me an old COD emblem maker. That's right. Amen to that. All right, let's pull that color. Let's go into lines. What's my, oh shit, it's my line length. Don't need that. 70? No. Also, I would want these edges to be rounded. Oh. That seems too fine of a line. I don't know. You know what? I actually have an idea. Hold on. Let me see this. Let me turn that back on. Let's get rid of all that. And then what I'll do is I will take this. Oh, no. Damn, I should not hold control for this. So that's how wide the eyes would be Looks like I'm glaring. That's dumb. All right, let's do that. Let's take that, and then we'll do we'll do a Z up in the corner. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. I mean, I feel like that's be as close as I could get it. I also kind of want to make these like a lot smaller and then blow them up so it has that same like visual fidelity, but also at the same time I'm just like too lazy. Because reality is like it's gonna be this big, you know, and it's hard to tell. It's actually why I had to adjust all my other ones, because I made them like slightly too big. You know what? Hold on. Let's do this. Let's combine those. That puts the Z's on the same level. This is what everyone came here for, right? Not D&D content, but me editing emojis. This is the and chill part. You've come here for D&D and chill, and this is the and chill part. Oh, I guess I always forget to do this. As always, when we're here on the D&D&Chill, this is the music that we're listening to. So this is on YouTube. This is the medieval lo-fi. It's 24/7. You can go there and listen to it. This radio plays on my computer almost 24/7. So, yeah, it's definitely there all the time. Either that or I have another one. I'll pause it real quick and I'll play the other one. It's from a channel called Game Chops. If you've hung out here when I've done I sometimes put this one on the first 15. But it's this particular one is like it's like chill 8-bit video game music. But I'm always hesitant on putting this one on because it's like, so it's just copyright music, but it's like 8-bit. But I don't know where that line is that, you know, Nintendo will look at it and go, okay, that's allowed, but you know, this isn't. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't want to risk that one. But you get pixel shit like this. Yeah, I get that. Like that's a cute little munchlax there. I don't know. I don't think this one's too bad. Oh, you know what? I think I went the wrong direction with that. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? I think I just realized I went the wrong direction with the eyes, and actually, Hold on, let me pull this guy into here. Oh, look how happy he is. Look how happy he is. That is not a representation of my life. It's like, what is happy? And we're gonna flip this vertically. And we're gonna move it up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out a little bit more of a circle into there. That's way too harsh of a line. Incoming ad break. Okay, so what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna take this and we're gonna actually because I can do that and I can hit effects and align horizontally. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. Shit, what the wait, what? Oh, that's why. It's like, what is going on with his eyes? You know what? Let's make my life a little easier. There we go. So if that's the case, put those down there, and then this way when it's zoomed out, so when are you gonna make custom month things, but it's just a D12 custom? Oh, Jared, that's a fucking good idea. That's smart. I'm gonna do that now. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. No, not a theme, not a theme. It's like if you look if you look to the left of your names in the chat, where it has that first, that means 1 month subscriber. And then you'll have one that is there. You'll have one that's there when it's the like 2 months and 3 months and so on and so on. But you know, I can edit those. I can actually change those on the back end. I didn't even think about that. That's such a good idea. The only problem, here's the only problem with the one we just put together, which I do really like. I think it's kind of adorable. We're gonna call this Ghost Sleep. I'm gonna upload it. The only problem is that I would have to get rid of one, because I can only have 5 standard emotes at any given time. So that's a but. Until I get more subs, yeah, there's a limit. So it's not a time limit. It's literally just you get 5, and then if I get 15 subscribers, I get an additional standard emote spot and another animated emote spot. That's like the second point. Suggest removing time. No, I'm not. Time is its own thing. Time is an animated one. So time, I can have 1 animated and 5 standard. I'd have to get rid of pizza. I'd have to get rid of the pizza D20. So, which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably not, you know, not the end of the world. as it is very specific. You may make them all dark urge. Well, I'll figure out some way. You know what? So here's the thing. Eventually, I will. If once I have been an affiliate for 60 days, once I've been an affiliate for 60 days, and I have not received any warnings or suspensions on my channel, and haven't had any of my emotes declined because of content or nothing, I will get access to 5 additional slots. They're standard. They're for anyone that joins the channel. So when you know, for what I'll do right now is I use it every time someone died in Baldur's Gate. Well, granted, that does happen a lot. Like, we aren't playing chaotic stupid already. Yeah, so hold on, I gotta yes, use the channel points. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's so good. I love that. My favorite thing in the world going into other people's channels is using channel points to edit an emoji. It's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say for right now we'll get rid of Pizza D20. And we'll put on Sleepy Ghost. Wait, how? I nearly have 4K points. So you click the little button in the bottom left that says channel points, and then you spend 900 of those points to modify a single emote. Does it want me to add? All right. See if that worked. All right. You can try reloading. It might not be fully available yet. That little emote. Oh no, there he is. There we go. He's there. Can't wait to get custom channel point soundboards. There is no way in hell that is happening. I've seen that. I've seen that abused so many times. There's no way. All right. Well, enough of all that. We're gonna pull up our windows again. I do want to look at this. Oh shit, wrong button. I want to look at this. I don't see Sleeping Ghost yet. Yeah, give it some time. Reload your page. It'll eventually pop up. Very much how I feel. I'm slowly starting to wake up, and then I'll be having to go back to bed soon enough anyway. All right, so what is this? I haven't even looked at this once yet. So For Minecraft Dungeons and Dragons 2 tabletop, introducing D&D to kids. This actually is so appropriate for something I want to talk about today. Which actually, I think I may have messed something up in order for me. No, I still have that good. Okay, let me just double check something here. Is that right? No. Sorry, I know I'm fiddling around with something else you guys can't see, so give me just a quick second. Let's just activate this. Disappeared. All right, anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. All right, so let's take a look. To celebrate today's release of Minecraft Dungeons and Dragons DLC, we're excited to introduce Lightning Keep, an easy-to-run D&D adventure. Oh! I heard about this. Yeah, I heard about Lightning Keep from I think somebody posted on Reddit. All right, so yeah, let's move this over. Let's claim that. I like the water weird that's on there. It's one of my favorite monsters, actually. Take Lightning Keep and Lucas it for a one-off for P5 and make us cry. Hell yeah! Lightning Keep is a one-shot D&D adventure perfect for those seeking something straightforward and easy to delve into. This module is a text light and simple. It's text light and simple to run, requiring minimal preparation. Players are recruited by a town that has just suffered a devastating dragon attack. They are tasked with discovering the secrets of the nearby Lightning Keep, an abandoned fortress rumored to have protective wards capable of keeping the town's refugees safe. As the players investigate the forest, they'll encounter monsters from D&D's previous Minecraft supplement. Oh, that's right. I remember these. Yep. Okay. The adventure is a great module for kids or introduce. Yeah. So, okay. So this is very much geared towards kids that have played Minecraft that want to try D&D. All right. D&D can be an excellent family-friendly activity to encourage teamwork, creative problem solving, and help develop math skills. That's right. Take this to your schools and be like, what, bam. Funny enough, I joke about that, but there is actually I'd have to find it. There's a thing, I don't know if it's still on D&D's website or Wizards of the Coast website. See if I can find it. There was at one time a I agree. There was at one time a thing that you could here it is for educators. Yes. Okay. Yes, the D&D classroom curriculum. So this is actually a way to kind of introduce D&D to kids through school. So there's all these different resources nowadays that can be, you know, worked into full-on teaching kits, activities, puzzles, building an adventure, coloring pages. I didn't know about that one. That's sick. That one caught me off guard. Yeah, character wardrobes and gear. That's also new from the last time. Oh, that's right, because I have my filter on. Oh, sick. What the fuck? Hold on. Do they have one for each? That's baller. That cleric looks sick. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the symbol of a monitor, one of the sun gods. So that's a light cleric. Those robes are slick. Also, that staff is awesome. Only one true sun god. That's right. All hail Pelor. Okay, that rogue is awesome too. Very, very sleek. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, that's not the symbol of what is that? Is that the symbol of the Harpers? No, that almost looks like that almost looks like a bird of some kind, but it's like backwards or sideways. That's weird. It kind of looks like the symbol from Hunger Games, which, I mean, weird, I guess, but okay. Paladin. Oh, there it is. The symbol of Lathander, the Morning Lord. As much as I hate the mornings, Lathander is the one true god that holds a place in my heart, and I'd recognize that symbol anywhere. What else? Oh, perfect. We got the bard as well. That sick ass loot, and I love this whole cape situation going on. That's fucking gorgeous. Druid. Oh, beautiful. I love that is such a nice attention to detail. This little flower coming out of the metal helmet at the bottom, reclaiming metal craft for nature. Also, this is an awesome looking component pouch. I'm gonna zoom in on this. This component pouch, this is sick. I remember seeing a druid like that before, but you can sorry. I love this. I love this whole look and design. This is awesome. Barbarian, nice. That's slick. Going for whole like the whole Arctic frost druid. Oh, these are bear claws. See, this is 100% what I imagine like Brutus Bjorn would be wearing out there. Also, this battle axe looks amazing. That's just you at the Ren Fair. It's getting closer and closer every year. Holy shit, I love this. This is so cool. We got the ranger now, I bet. Yep, okay, sick. Nice little short sword with an elk on it. Yeah, we got like deer, we got antlers and stuff adorning it. Got a pretty slick bow. I love the belt having the little the end of the belt looking like a leaf. That's a wonderful touch. Have like a horn of calling or something. Is this warlock or sorcerer? Shit, that is so cool looking. I want to know what those are. Are these what sorcerer would this be? Wild magic or some kind of like elemental one? Because I'm not gonna lie, that looks fucking awesome. And I kind of want to build a character whole idea behind like lightning down one arm, fire down the other, because that just sounds cool. Oh, monk. Okay, nice. I love the touch of the arrows in the ground, because they have the missile grabbing ability or whatever it's called. That's such an awesome touch. What is that symbol? Looks like a moon. This almost looks like the symbol of Shar, if I'm not mistaken. No, the symbol of Shar is more of a circle. It's definitely not the symbol of Saloon. But it just reminds me, it's like a, maybe it is closer to the symbol of Saloon. No, it's definitely not. It's just a kind of that crescent moon look to it. It's giving me those vibes. We still have Warlock to go. Oh, that is so cool. I love the eye. That eye staff is sick. That would be this. Okay, you know what? I know we actually just kind of touched on it a little bit in P5 with me, you know, kind of gaining a little bit of a Warlock contract of sorts. Also Iggy likewise getting a little bit of a connection with his now Warlockian abilities. But one of the things about Warlocks is obviously you have a patron that's going to be kind of watching over you and monitoring what you're doing and wanting progress updates. This staff being an eyeball on a, you know, at the end of your staff, just being your patron's eye, watching what you're doing is so cool. As like a touch of flavor. Imagine this is how Raven battle outfit when he's not trying to keep the charade. Yeah, that's it. Each one of these little placards down here is where he summons his companions from. 100%. This is sick. Yeah, the colors are awesome on this. I don't know how I've never stumbled across this before. I want these in like full posters. Okay, I want these in like an 11 by like I want each one of them as like an 11 by 14. And then I want to put them on a wall that's like a grid, like a 3x4 grid of each one of these. These are so nice and well done. I love this. Also, the fact that they start with the core 4 of Fighter, Cleric, Wizard, and Rogue. And then they go to like everyone's kind of 5th picks where, you know, when you're starting up a D&D group, a lot of times people go with, you know, Fighter, Cleric, Wizard, and Rogue to cover most of your bases, but then you often go with like a heavier charisma support build. Paladins offer that extra melee prowess and the tanking abilities if your party is maybe lacking in that. If maybe your cleric is more support but not a lot of you know, defense, you can grab a paladin. But like a bard is always a good backup to have, considering they have a ton of support, and same with druid. And then from there you go for like the classes that are more specialized, where you have you know, the barbarian, where it's really about damage output, and you have the ranger, which has a lot of exploration abilities, and then sorcerer, monk, and warlock having a lot of their own like specifics about them, things that really, you know, define them, but can be taken up by other classes. Like instead of having a sorcerer, you have the warlock, I mean you have the wizard, and instead of grabbing a monk, you already have like a fighter, and instead of a warlock, you have another, you know, you have your wizard already. I love these. I kind of want to just do like a big 24 by 36 poster now of all of these and like put it up on my wall. I might do that later. I might print these out. I'm gonna save that page for me later. Where is this? Yeah, let me link out to this. So first off, I know we got on this, but There's the link to the resources for the educators. If you want to go on and get a, get into the education stuff for D&D, that is it. This is the page, though. This YMI classroom. I don't know what YMI. Oh, Young Minds Inspired. And then, yeah, it was this character wardrobes and gear. So... very cool, very cool. Yeah, check this out if you are interested, if you have any kids that might want to get into D&D, something like this. Oh yeah, this is the one that was the one I was more thinking of. A digital magazine. Oh, it's just 2 pages. Okay. All right, what else do they have? Puzzles. Oh, wow. Okay, I got a couple different things there. Oh, nice. Riddles. You're trapped in a room with only a red door and a green door protected by 2 monsters, an owlbear and a dragon. One always tells the truth, one always lies. I think my page has frozen. What is going on? My mouse dead? Okay. Go back to there. All right. How do I close a Chrome tab with shortcut? Control W. What's going on with my mouse? Did my mouse just straight up die? Hold on, I have a digital mouse on my phone. See if this works. Oh yeah, I think my mouse is just dead. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, you're off to work. Oh, you got work in the morning. All right, man. Yeah, my mouse just died on me. That really sucks. Is there a way to try and trigger it on? Nope, that's my keyboard. It literally says that it's working. Like the program that I use to like monitor my mouse says that it's working, and it's also recognizing it when I plug it in and out. All right, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I gotta find a mouse. Okay. What is going on? Okay, I have no clue what was going on, but I think I have an idea. And if my idea is right, it kind of screws me up for something I wanted to do a little bit later. But we'll try it then, because now my mouse is working, so don't know what happened. Okay, so yeah, back to where we were. Got some puzzles and riddles. You do this every time you write. A beholder in a D&D adventure might use this to levitate an adventure. What is it? You do this every time you write, and a beholder in an adventure might use it to levitate an adventurer. It's not something you hold. It's a homonym. It's a verb and a noun. So it's something that sounds like something else. It's something you do, but it's also a thing. A beholder? What's the answer? Did they actually tell you? Oh, hey, Minsk and Boo. Wait, do they actually tell you? Oh, here it is. Spell. Oh, you motherfucker. You know what? This proves a point. If you are wanting to challenge D&D players of literally any age, find riddles and puzzles from like elementary school books, because it will 100% trick them. So yeah, that's this is super sick. I didn't realize that they had actually really gone this far with it. Also kind of interesting that they have some like character designs available, so that's pretty cool for kids. Oh, there's those costumes I'm gonna be doing something with later. I'm gonna put that on another window. But yeah, so like I said, there are a lot of educator resources for D&D. It has definitely grown, so utilize that. But here's another thing also. If you are wanting to run D&D for kids, you can actually apply for these kits. For example, the D&D After School Club kit comes with a copy of the Dragon of Stormwreck Isle, as well as instructions and guidelines for those organizing it, a quick learn to play guide for DMs, easy to read character cards, and a poster to help promote the club. You basically just get a hold of them and talk with them, handle that. You can also get an educator license, which will give you access to the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and the DM's Guide, the core 3 books, as well as Dragons of Icespire Peak, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, and Candlekeep Mysteries. So if you are a member of a school, like it says here, a school, library, or enrichment center, you can get this, and then you can get these books digitally and have them available for your different groups. So 2 great options that they have. All right, so back to where we were. and not just for schools. Yeah, that's it. It's as long as you're a part of like an educational organization, I imagine they probably have to look into, you know, who the group is and all that. All right, so keep it rules light, keep it short and focused, keep it screenless. Yeah, that is one thing though. I will say, this is one thing that I do with my niece and nephew whenever we're playing together, is that the only like screen that we have is that I use my iPad for the map, just because I don't have time to print up full maps. I don't have a printer. But you know, keeping them off their phones, keeping them off their tablets and stuff, or you know, keeping them off a laptop, it is a benefit. What's up, Ms. Roy? How you doing tonight? So let's take a look at this Lightning Keep adventure. I'm very curious about this. I know we talked about this over here. Ooh, we can visit Candlekeep, Icewind Dale, and more. I'm actually very curious now. I kind of want to. Oh, Cairdenafal. I kind of want to jump into Minecraft and actually play this. So I know nothing about it. I haven't played Minecraft in so long, and I don't even know if the versions I would have could. But I'm gonna try later. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's pull this up. All right, Lightning Keep is a 5th edition D&D adventure for 4 to 6 characters of level 3. Okay, that's actually higher than I thought. All right. Yep. We know what this is. Dragon suggestions? What? Guess we'll get to that. Okay. Oh wait, where did it say? The characters don't encounter the dragons in this adventure. It's meant to be a looming threat that could show up later in the campaign. I gotcha. All right. A marauding dragon has laid waste to numerous villages, devouring some residents while displacing other. It strikes without mercy. No one knows where it comes from, where it lairs, or how long it intends to terrorize the land, but there is hope. Long ago, a werewolf knight of great valor used her wealth to raise a bastion at the edge of the wilderness. This castle has the power to generate a lightning shield around it, a shield powerful enough to break sieges and keep monsters at bay. The castle was abandoned shortly after the knight passed away. By then, peace had settled across the land, making the stronghold unnecessary. Villagers displaced by the dragon ask you to travel to Lightning Keep and rid it of any threats. Rumor has it the lightning shield is powered by 6 magical lightning rods. If you could find the rods, perhaps the lightning shield could be reactivated, allowing the refugees to seek. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to go over all this because I mean I might want to run it one day for one of my groups, you know, to each their own. If you want to read it, just need to go to D&D Beyond, where the where was it? Here it is. Yeah, so go to D&D Beyond right now, go to the Minecraft X Dungeons and Dragons, and there's a link right here, the Lightning Keep. So you can click that and then claim that. So it's actually not a bad size map. It's pretty good looking. And we got some water weirs. I see the detect magic. Ooh, some actually provides 3/4 cover. Ooh, Enderman. Okay, we got a blaze. So obviously this is very much, you know, Minecraft themed. What else? I didn't see any other monsters. Oh, okay, water weird, creepers, and then we had the wolves at the very beginning, the wolves of the overworld. Okay. Yeah, so again, I'm not going to go through this just because I don't want to divulge all the details. But I mean, looks like a fairly straightforward dungeon crawl that could be slapped together in about an hour or two. Doesn't seem too off the wall. There's a lot of places that just have some basic descriptions. Not really seeing anything too out of line. We got some basic weapons. Got a magic spear. I see a lot of detect magic. Okay, yeah, elemental gem, the summers of fire elemental. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, bare bones, but you know, something that would be there. And what is this? As refugees flock to the Seek, the marauding dragon takes notice, investigate to keep more. The lightning shield keeps it at bay. Curious might be asked to confront the dragon some later date, or even track it back to its lair. Final showdown with the dragon could be the crux of a later adventure. Okay, that's cool that it's going for fizz bands. Honestly, yeah, I could see this being something that you could tie into something like the Dragon of Icespire Keep. You know, have it be that the Lightning Keep is something that you know, is near, kind of in the same way that Axholm functions in Dragon of Icespire Peak, where it's like, hey, if the town's being attacked, you know, funnel everybody to Axholm. But I could see this being something that could show up like elsewhere as another place that could be that could be, you know, used for refuge. You could also run this as an introduction to Dragon of Icespire Peak. Have it be that the players kind of tone it down a little bit, and maybe have your players level 1 going through here, where you maybe reduce some of the DCs, you cut down some of the monsters, and have them go in, or have it, and then have this be what leads up to it, where it's like, hey, you really helped us out, but we saw the dragon flying back. You know, you could set this anywhere you want. You could set this over in Lylon for all it's worth. But you know, you could have something like this and have Lylon play a completely different function. You could have this could actually work really well next to Lylon, considering there's the lighthouse, the Tower of Storms. You could almost have these two like exist side by side with one another, and that's where people funnel up to. That would be kind of an interesting way to handle it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like a one shot. It would be a nice little, you know, self-contained adventure. So I'd be interested to run this at some point. Calling all D&D players, take our survey. Which one? I don't know. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this survey real quick. I'm clicking buttons. What is this? 25 minutes. Holy God. All right, we got time. What are my favorite classes? Choose up to 3. Bard, 100%. I want a survey link. Just go to D&D Beyond. It's right at the top. I don't know if this link will actually work. So, what's my favorite classes? I love bards above all else. There is wasn't for me, but thanks. I love bards above all else. So 100% bard is my thing. And funny enough, I actually was looking at all the subclasses that I've made, you know, and 6 of them are bards. So definitely my favorite one. All right, so what else beyond that? I've played a barbarian. I've played everything. at some point. I would probably say wizard next because I like the straight spellcasters. And wizards are sick. And then beyond that, I'm kind of torn between cleric and paladin. If I have to be honest. I'm gonna lean cleric. So what are my favorite character species? Okay, not a ton of options here, but I see I can put other. So human, I think humans make for wonderful characters, but halfling is my number one. So halfling is my number one, and then beyond that, I would go Aasimar. Aasimar has a special place in my heart because of my character up there standing next to the DM. He was an Aasimar. Which campaign settings do I prefer? Birthright, Dark Sun, Dragonlance, Eberron, Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, Homebrew. Oh, Homebrew created from elements of other campaigns and one created by the group. Mystara, Planescape, Ravenloft, and Spelljammer. I'm going to say, first off, Forgotten Realms. I believe Forgotten Realms has the most lore-rich setting because I feel it's been elaborated on in books and whatnot, like publications, so much more. And you know what? And honestly, I'm gonna say homebrew made from elements of other stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing Birthright, was something that kind of caught me off guard as well. I mean, it's weird to think about that one. So what that was the world of Cirilla, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Hannah? Blown away if they included Red Steel. Yeah. So honestly, I'm gonna say between all of these, I'm gonna say the Forgotten Realms, and I'm gonna say both of the homebrew ones, because I've obviously I run games in Forgotten Realms. That's like my preferred setting. But the thing is that I like to change things in my in my homebrew campaigns, and also just like really change stuff up. But I've also played in campaigns that have been completely homebrewed, and they have been some of my best experiences. So yeah. What is my favorite campaign setting? Forgotten Realms, 100%. Have I ever played D&D tabletop RPG? Yes, I have. I am 32 years old, and I am in the United States. It's weird to think that I'm 32. Which of these editions have you played? Okay, I have played 3rd, well, 3.5, 4th, and 5th. I haven't played that. I own each one of these, but technically speaking, I've only ever played these editions. Which edition did I first play? 3rd edition, technically, because that was a one-shot. When was the last time I played 5th edition? Within the last month. Sunday. You know. Yeah, I don't. So that's the thing. I have a lot of the books. Like, I have my wife's uncle played D&D, played OD&D, and I have his books, and I look through it and it's like, okay, like there's a lot of things that are similar, but there's also a lot of things that, you know, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to have to deal with THAC0 and stuff like that. Have you used D&D Beyond? I currently use it, and I have a master subscription. I'm currently subscribed, yes. Master tier. Is that the one I have? Yes. I wanted to just like pop up right there, just be like, thanks. When was the last time I played an edition of other than 5th edition? Oh God, when was the last time I played 4E? Just finishing up D&D in Spanish, so you're no, it's fine, don't worry about it. When was the last time I played 4E? I want to say it was within the last year, because I was playing in a group that we were like rotating DMs, and one of the guys that was running his in 4E system. So but we haven't played that in a while, so I want to say that was within a year. But all right, how important are the following when I play D&D? Introducing new players, extremely important. I love getting new people to play D&D. It's one of my favorite things. It's why I run it's why I like running modules and one-shots, because they're very easy to introduce to people. It's also why to this day I still do impromptu one-shots for like random groups online. Overcoming challenges with careful decision making, that is very important. You know, it's always good to come up with creative solutions to difficult problems. How important is it to be a powerful hero that defeats villains and monsters? As a player, that's kind of meh. Like, I actually don't really care about being a powerful hero. I would rather have a character where I see their story come to fruition, regardless of what that means, rather than becoming a powerful hero that defeats villains and monsters. If in the course of the adventure and campaign that my character's on to do that, he becomes a powerful hero, well, then that's just icing on the cake. Using miniatures in D&D, I don't use minis, so I use a VTT. I use Encounter Plus. Creating my own adventure / campaign. So here's the problem. I don't create my own adventures and campaigns. I run modules that are modified. So I take the modules that I have available to me and I modify them to fit with the stories and background informations or background stories that my players have given me. Modded mods, that's right. That's right. So I'm gonna put somewhat important, just because I don't have an issue running a module just as is, but I'm also gonna change it up as I need it. Leading the group during gameplay, I will admit there are two sides of me. Okay, when I'm playing, there is the side of me that is very much like the leader of a group whenever I have that situation where I feel like some of the folks in the group are not decision makers, or they hum and haw, and I'm oftentimes the one that will say, okay, let's figure this out, you know, let's move on, come on, like, let's get everybody's opinion real quick and make a choice. Within Kelf there are two wolves. Since he has them both flanked, he gets advantage. That's right. So there's that big part of me that's like, yes, I like to be the one that guides the party, because I feel like some people don't often have that burning desire to really take the party by the reins and say, okay, this is a direction that, you know, this is the direction that we're going based on the feedback. But so that's one side of me, and that has been the case in a lot of campaigns that I've played in. But then there is the other side of me that has been more recent in the campaigns that I have played in, where I have wanted to play more of a background support character. For example, my character Bo in the Pathfinder campaign that I'm playing in, he's a bard, and I play him as a back support. Just like I'm constantly casting Inspire Courage, I'm healing the party, I'm trying to distract monsters, I am picking, at enemies with my phase bolt and stuff. But when it comes to the adventure, Bo is very much more of a support character and offers his voice when needed. And that's because I had to take a hard look in the mirror one day when I was playing D&D with my friends and said, am I taking control of a campaign that I don't have a right to take control of? Like, if I said, and I did not go the hard questions with this with my group, but like I questioned myself, like, if I pulled all of my friends that I've been playing with for the last 5 years and said, and this was granted, these were questions I asked when I was playing mostly in person, but like, if I pull this group and say, hey, do you guys feel that I have, led this group astray more than I have, down the path that we all wanted to go? I wouldn't want to know that answer, because I feel like I already know it. I feel like there were definitely times where I was like, well, let's do this, and everyone kind of has that, like, well, Lucas knows what he's doing. And there's moments where I had to look back at that stuff and say, okay, I need to learn how to let other people lead. So that's what I have been trying to change a lot of in my playstyles. Now, obviously, I know when I have to step up, and I also know whenever, like, Bo, for example, needs to talk about certain things. In the last session we played, I very much wanted to go back and talk to the blacksmith, Mr. Rajani, about the sword that's being kept up at the mayor's office. And so the rest of my party really didn't care much about that, but I was like, I need to do this, so I'm going there. And I did my own thing. But when it comes to leading, that is important, but I'm going to put very important, because I feel that this also plays into me being a DM. Like, leading a group during gameplay is being a DM as well. Being able to listen to what everybody's saying and the decisions everybody's trying to make, and then having a path forward that I can say, okay, this is what I'm hearing as a collective, so let's move on. All right, maximizing combat performance by carefully optimizing attributes and gear. I'm an optimizer, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this always comes down to the point of, I want to play a character that can survive to level 3, or it's like if optimizing my character means that they survive, then I'm going to optimize them. But I also think that this really, I don't like how they put maximizing combat performance here, because the problem is, I could make a character like a rogue, for example, that's hyper dexterous, that has like boots of speed, gloves of climbing, a magic rope, and their whole thing is elevation. Okay, their whole thing is climbing, and the reason for that is to get them, is maybe the campaign takes place in a city, so their advantage is like climbing up a building, getting onto like a terrace, and then shooting down at the enemies. Parkour rogue, exactly. So my question there is, why does this have to be combat performance? Let this be really anything, maximizing gameplay performance by carefully optimizing attributes and gear. That's what I would stick with. But for me, when it comes to combat, depending on the character that I'm playing, I will 100%, optimize for combat if that's what I'm playing. Creating characters with detailed personalities, quirks, and modes, that's not important to me at all. No, absolutely. That's 100% the one thing that is the most important thing to me, is creating evocative characters that have distinct personalities that can stand alone that can stand alone amongst a sea of other characters. So that is 100% like my driving motivation when playing D&D, was to make characters. That is why to this day I still have I have 150 characters just on D&D Beyond. So, and a lot of these characters have been made using the resources that I have found for making cool characters. Speaking of which, this is going to be a shameless plug here. Speaking of evocative characters with detailed personalities, quotes, quirks, and motives, go check out Ryan Doyle of Verdigris Table's Kickstarter, the Game Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation. It's fully funded, and the more money he gets and the more people that back it, the more there's going to be in the book. We've already hit the first stretch goal, which is getting an extra 100 character creation questions. We hit the $1,500 point. So let's get up to the 2,000. Let's get these physical traits, and let's keep going to 2,500. So yeah, check that out. Like I said, Ryan Doyle of Verdigris Tables, Game Master's Compendium of Explosive Creation. Check out that link. All right, back to where we were. Characters and monsters are beautifully illustrated in the books. I actually do find that important. That is somewhat important to me. Oh shit, didn't mean to click that. Hi Nova. That's my other dog. That is important to me, and that is because I like to pull up pictures if there are ones and show my players, and I do think it kind of allows you to really get a sense of the monster. Give me 1 second. I don't know my dog's spell. All right, I'm back. Everyone knows Bo. Obviously, everybody knows my pug Bo. But I have another dog. Name's Dova. He's a Shar-Pei Beagle mix, and he generally sleeps downstairs on the couch in the living room with my mom, with my mom's dogs. But he comes up occasionally, and he'll go over on the spare bed we have in this room, and he'll sit there and he'll curl up in a little ball and he'll look at me. And that is his sign of, I would like to go to bed. So it either means I have to go to bed, or I have to then offer to take him over to the bedroom where my wife is sleeping right now, so he can go to bed with mama. And that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, there's something powerful about saying you open the door and you see this and then show. That's exactly it. Yes. Like having a monster or having, cool character art that you can you can pull up. Like I'm trying to think of one of the ones that I've seen in the past. Let me see if I can pull up something random from the bestiary that doesn't have a picture. I'm probably not gonna. Oh, here we go. Okay, an alicorn. Okay, now this obviously this doesn't obviously have an image, but you know, oh, you can say, well, it's a, you know, it's a horned Pegasus, you know, it's a horn winged creature. Like that's one thing that you can describe that, you know, you can read this, but you know, to be able to pull up, you know, an alchemical skunk, and it's totally not named Rainbow Dash, yeah. You know, but to be able to pull up an alchemical skunk and say, you know, oh, you see this, you see a skunk that has green fur down its tail, or whatever the hell this thing is. That looks like a displacer beast mixed with a, like a sea lion. What the fuck is that? That tail. That's crazy looking. Yeah, so that's it. You know, having cool character art and monster art is really kind of important, because it allows your players to have a sense of what they're looking at and allows them to really, you know, attach to whatever it is. It doesn't just have a prehensile tail. It has, yeah. I don't even know what that thing was called. It was, oh my god. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this thing is crazy. Well, if you want a monster that is amphibious, that has a spiky coat that deals 1d8. Oh, we got some mythological information. Legendary creature of Aztec mythology. It lured people to their deaths. The creature was the mascot by the ruler of the same name, friend of the rain gods. It was likely a water opossum, which possesses dexterous hands like a raccoon or monkey. Wow. That is pretty awesome. It has multi-attack, so you get 2 attacks. And tail grab. It grabs a creature, medium or smaller. It's grappled. It can move them up to its speed as a bonus action. The grappled creature must succeed a DC 14 strength save or be pulled along. A creature being dragged by it makes attack rolls and dexterity saves with disadvantage. How does that work? Wait, what? So they grab you. This thing can then move up to its speed as a bonus action. The grappled creature must succeed a strength save or be pulled along 5 feet behind it. Okay, so this means that until the creature doesn't use its bonus action to move its speed, this creature can move, you know, can move without this creature will move, and that will impose that disadvantage. So I'm seeing how that's playing out. This thing looks more terrifying in PF2. Oh god, it's just a badger with a with a monkey hand out its butt. It's a that is terrifying with webbed toes. That is horrifying. You know, they often say honey badger don't give a shit, or you know, don't give a shit, or you know, honey badger don't give a fuck. That honey badger would. All the worst parts of badger and possum. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. All right, if the target is a object or weapon, the creature must succeed. Oh, wait, so it can like pull an object away. After stealing it, it can move up to its speed. It can only grapple 1 creature or hold 1 weapon. If holding a weapon, it can... Holy shit. If holding a weapon, it can use its tail grab action to make 1 attack with the weapon with no proficiency bonus. What? It can make 1 attack with the weapon. If it grabs a magic weapon, it could arguably... It doesn't say... Well, here's the thing. If this thing grabs a staff of power, for example, a spell attack is an attack. Like arguably, this does not say makes one melee attack. So if you grab a staff of power, you could arguably cast, you know, something out of this. Like magic missile, for example, that would be the one that I would say is a spell attack. But like, technically speaking, any one of these could be considered a spell attack. Cone of Cold, Fireball, Lightning Bolt, any one of them is an attack. Oh. Hey, give that back. That's my verbal sword. Yeah. Snicker snack. That is hilarious. I guess the only saving grace is that it couldn't grab heavy weapons, because it's small, so it would have disadvantage on those. But man, oh man, that's nuts. If you're interested in more things like this, check out the Creature Codex. For 5th edition, check out the Creature Codex from Kobold Press. That's where this is from, and that is where you can find this and more things like that, which I do own that book. It is over there on my shelf, so I don't often like pulling up creatures on here. Like, I own Tome of Beasts 1, 2, and 3 on my computer. Is the only reason I downloaded them. All right, so back to the survey, back to where we were. How important is it that I bond over a shared experience with a group? I think that is important. I think that's important. I think that's the whole idea of D&D, is bonding with the players and having that shared experience play through. So, all right, motivations for playing D&D. How important are the following? How important is it that the rulebook and guides offer amazing artwork? Yeah, we already talked about that. I think that is very important. Creating elaborate stories for my characters, 100%. We already kind of touched on that. Creating characters is my favorite thing, and I love making cool and evocative backstories. Having a large collection of miniatures or dungeon terrain, not important at all. I use a VTT, so that's my preference. Being a part of a fun group activity, I guess. I mean, D&D is a group experience, so I guess that is kind of important. But I have played solo D&D before, so we can definitely tack that one up. How important is it researching rulebooks online to optimize class and skill combinations? I'm actually gonna put that one as somewhat important. The thing is I love theory crafting, so that is one of those things where I love to push the bounds and see what the math has to hold on a character, but I'm also not going to do it just to like screw over a game. I would rather make those kind of characters just as the theory craft, and then, you know, see what it has from there. So, all right, helping others learn to play D&D, 100%. That's what I love. I like teaching people, so that's an important thing to me. Accumulating powerful weapons, spells, and artifacts, that's not the end of the world for me. I'd rather go through a low magic campaign that has a cool story where you know, it has a good it's a good like ending point where you feel fulfilled, I don't need magic items to do that. They help you get to those points, but I'd rather have the story. Taking charge of the team and deciding how to proceed. This kind of seems like a rework of what we just talked about. I'm gonna say somewhat important, because I do that often. We already talked about that. Identifying creative ways to solve challenges and obstacles. Sure. I think that's always fun. I think it's always fun to see what the DM puts in front of you and then try and figure out the solutions, because a lot of times it's just going to be different options from different folks, and a lot of times you confuse the DM on what you even chose to do, and it's something they didn't plan on. And I've said this before. As a DM, you need to be prepared to give your players doors 1, 2, and 3, and you need to be prepared for them to jump out the window or to blow up the wall and dig a tunnel. So I do enjoy that stuff, because I love taking what my players give me and then trying to like figure out creative solutions to that. All right, and creating a homebrew world / campaign thing, that is important to me. I do that in my spare time. I have a couple different worlds that I've made, and I just don't do anything with them because I prefer the Forgotten Realms. But I do like doing that. I do like building homebrew worlds. All right, how was I introduced to D&D? Boy, okay, so originally, the 3rd edition experience that I had, or the 3.5 edition experience that I had, was because a family member, one of my dad's cousins, was playing it one time when I visited their place, and I got to sit down. They had an extra character sheet, and I was like, I'd maybe seen it on like Dexter's Lab, because there was an episode in Dexter's Lab where they played D&D, and like Dexter was the DM, and it was this like power gamer, like, I'm the DM, I'm gonna kill you all. And then Dee Dee started D&D, yeah. Dee Dee started to run it because she wanted to play, and they made Dexter's character like basically the Hobbit. And so, like, I obviously knew D&D through media, but that was the first time that I ever, like, had a character sheet in front of me and, like, rolled some dice and stuff. But it was a very short-lived thing. It was, like, literally 20 minutes of, like, rolling some dice, them pointing to some numbers on a character sheet. But if I had to explain where I saw it, like what actually made me get into it, you're walking through a dungeon, now you're walking through a forest, now you're walking through a dungeon forest. I'm gonna have to go watch that episode again now that it's years later and I have such a reference for it now. I'll have to watch that. But what actually got me into D&D wholesale, like 10 years ago when I got into 5e, was because I was listening to a podcast back in the day, the My Brother and Me podcast. I used to listen to a ton of podcasts when I was going to college, and I was listening to the Joystick podcast, which was a video game one, and one of the guys on there, Justin McElroy, was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing a podcast with my brothers. So it's My Brother and Me, and I listened to that for years, and then one day they were like, yeah, we're gonna be playing D&D with our dad Clint for this like one shot, and if you are like a member of some thing, you can get access to this episode. And I was like, well, I gotta listen to this. And so it was around that time, just before that, like a few months before that, my buddy Aaron, who played some Pathfinder, was talking to me about possibly playing some D&D on Xbox. Like you could like do vision cameras and stuff like that. And so that was something that I had started having an interest in. And when the Adventure Zone became a thing and they put out the first like test episode and I listened to it, and I'm like, I didn't know D&D could be like this. I didn't know D&D was just like storytelling, you know, and it really put it into a frame of reference of like what D&D could be for me. Now, that unfortunately did kind of there was a big part of me that was like, okay, you know, D&D can be to this level, and then when you actually start sitting down playing it, you have to hedge those expectations sometimes, because you have then what becomes like the Matt Mercer effect, where people who sit down who have watched something like Critical Role, where Matt Mercer is a phenomenal DM, or somebody who's watched Dimension 20 with Brendan Lee Mulligan or Abria Iyengar, you watch people like that and you're like, holy shit, this is like such a high echelon of DM that players that sit around the table sometimes have the expectation that that's how all DMs are, and that's not always the case. And in the inverse, you look at players like the members of Critical Role, like Travis and Laura, Taliesin, Sam, and all of them, and then you also look at you know, people from Dimension 20, where you have like Siobhan Thompson, you have Murph, you have Emily Axford, and all of them, where it's like, oh, like cool, like these are the kind of players that there are. But you always have to go into a table or go into a group and have that expectation of like, hey, this is going to be something where every experience is different, every table is going to be different, every dynamic. And honestly, you might not fit in with every table, you might not fit in with every group, and you might not fit in with every DM. And truth be told, not every table is meant for every person. Okay, I have played with a number of groups over the years, and there are some players that like I either would not want to have at my table, or I would only want to have at my table with a certain kind of game, or another, like a certain kind of group, where some of the stuff that they do is okay, but you know, in most of my like more casual settings, I probably wouldn't. I don't know how D&D, I know that feeling when first chatting with you, I had no idea. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people think that it is very much, you know, dice and math, and that's a huge part of it, obviously. But yeah, you know, it's not until you actually start like taking it in and realizing that it can be more just of a story, the cooperative storytelling experience that I often describe it as. Yes, that's the other thing. You know, being super gatekeepy of like, oh, like you wouldn't know anything about D&D. Yeah, that is bullshit. D&D is for everyone. Like I said, it does suck though that there are some, you know, snot-nosed bastards out there that do try and make it where it's a closed garden, you know. But hey, every community is gonna have that. Oh, you're like, yeah. Oh, you like D&D? Name 10 races. Okay, Goliath, Asmar, Halfling, Human, Druid, or Drow, Dwarf. Yeah, no, yeah. What schmucks. So I'm gonna put here. I watched or listened to a game being played online, and I'm gonna put other, and I'm gonna do Adventure Zone. So, yeah, because friend or family member is 100% it, but you know, these two kind of playing into one another. About how long after my introduction to D&D did I play my first game? It was, I guess, if we're talking about when I really got into it in 5th edition, I listened to that first episode of the Adventure Zone, and then I went and pre-ordered the books. So the books weren't even out. I got the starter kit, and then I got the books like shortly after. So I would say a few days later, because I got them shortly after that. About how long after your introduction did I purchase or receive? A few days. Yeah, because I bought the starter kit, the Phandalin, or yeah. I want to say Phandelver and Below, but the Lost Mines of Phandelver. So yeah. Which, you know what, going back to that other one, to talk about this one, how long did I play? That was a few days later, because I got two of my friends together, and we played a what was an online 4th edition thing called the Dragon Shore, which I don't even know if it's still around. I want to say I've talked about this. Yeah, here it is. The Dragon Shore Adventure. If you are ever looking to like just try D&D by yourself, this is a solo adventure that you can roll dice, and it's kind of like a point and click adventure thing where you click that you want to go somewhere, and then oh, you must go through Tanglewood Forest. There's a priest of Pelor. And then like you click, you know, result 1, and it gives you what happens, and oh, you completed this, return to the temple, and then you can go to like the Tanglewood Forest, and it tells you what happens. And keep in mind, this is 4E, like it straight up says 4E, page 168. But you know, you can loot things, you can continue through, you can get advertisements for antivirus, and then you just like kind of hover over stuff. So yeah, if you're ever interested, that was actually the very first campaign, quote unquote, that I ran for my friends, because it was a self-contained thing, and I didn't know how to run D&D at that time. Which of the following did I do first? Play D&D. What was the first tabletop D&D product I ever owned? It was a box set. Yep. I mean, yeah, that was the very first one. It was the starter kit. So the fourth of antivirus is a fourth wall breaking convos that happen in any game. That's right. Obviously, yeah, it's just like you're going through a normal adventure. It's like you come upon the crypt. As you look around, there's an advertisement for Norton Antivirus, sponsor for today's episode. All right. What is the first 5th edition product I owned? A box set. It was the starter kit. So yeah. Yep. Just those two. Right. Yeah, I didn't sign up for anything for a while. I guess I bought dice beforehand, so I'll put that on there as well. Never underestimate the power of the starter button. Dude, I'll tell you what, I have it would be hard for me to show them. Yeah, it'd be very hard for me to show them, but I have oh wait, you know what? Hold on. Andy, this. All right. I can do that, and then I'll open up Discord. Post that there, and then I can drag this. Yeah, so there we go. This is the shelf. This is the closet, or not the shelf. This is the top of my display behind me, and I have all my starter kits on there. Everything's still up there, and then I also have the Wrath of Ashardalon Adventure and the Pathfinder starter kit, and then the gray box and the purple one. So yeah, gotta love it. know, starter kits are where it's at. And you know what? Through all of my time playing D&D, it has been the essentials kit, the Dragon of Icespire Peak, that I've gotten the most use out of, because that is such a good campaign. I mentioned the first D&D product I owned was a box set and accessories. How was that obtained? I purchased it new for myself. Think about the first D&D table product I bought. Okay, why did you buy that? Because I wanted to run. Yes, I wanted to become a DM and I wanted to start playing. So yeah, here it is. I bought it to share amongst my group. So yeah. After the first product, what kinds of D&D products? I bought the core rule books. I bought the supplements. I got a subscription to Roll20. Oh, you know what? Actually, I should go back, because I just like something clicked in my head. I signed up for a Roll20 subscription like immediately. That actually just came to my mind. I forgot that I had signed up for that, because when I went to run the Dragon Shore adventure, I used Roll20. So I've had that since the very beginning, because it was like in its infancy. All right, so yeah. After my first products, what did I buy? Yeah, so I bought digital tool sets. Is there a loaf of bread in there? Yeah, there's a loaf of bread in that picture. Yeah, it's right there. It's a nice loaf of bread. You weren't meant to answer that. You asked me it. I mean, it's in the Discord. It smells good. It smells like vanilla. So I bought this. This was like at Walgreens, which, if you don't know, I work at a Walgreens. Not real food, do not eat. Yeah, that's the reminder. I've had this for years, and I love it because it's so soft. My niece loves this. Every time she comes into my room, she's always like grabbing this and squishing it, because it's squishy bread. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like a stress toy, and then it goes right back into shape into a nice loaf of bread. And I also feel that it's so appropriate because I love pugs, and pugs are often described as loafs. So yeah, this is my little loaf. It's so good. It smells so good. But yeah, it's my little bread loaf. Okay, so what did I buy? I bought the box set. I got everything. I bought everything. Like, I started buying all the stuff. I bought dice. I bought the DM screen. I got the core rule books. I got the Horde of the Dragon Queen. I bought that. That was my first adventure. The moment that like supplements came out, I was buying them. I had Roll20 as soon as D&D Beyond came out. I was part of the beta for that. So yeah, I invested heavily into D&D. When was the last time I bought an official 5th edition D&D product? Within the last month. I bought Phandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk, and that just released. Have I bought official D&D products directly from a website? Yes, I have bought them from I actually never bought anything directly from Wizards of the Coast, but I've bought them on D&D. I bought them on Amazon because I bought in physical books, and I've also bought them from D&D Beyond because, as it might not be known, I have the everything. So there was a point in my life where I had money, and I was like, hey wife, am I allowed to buy this? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. So I bought the legendary bundle, so I have access to everything. Oh, I guess I don't have these. Well, there we go. More things I have to buy. But I will say, if you do buy the legendary, it is worth it because you get discounts on everything else. So I forgot about this. The domains of delight. Yeah, and then I have the dice. I don't have the maps because it doesn't make sense for me. Oh, didn't mean to click that. So yeah, we got it all. I do want to talk about the maps later though, because that's a thing now, but we'll get into that. My dog's farting down there. Would I consider buying D&D official D&D products directly from a website? Yes. Yeah, I'd buy them from any. It doesn't really matter. All right, how important are... That's the bad little loaf, yeah. How important to you are each of the considerations below in deciding whether or not to buy an official product directly from a website? Free shipping on physical products. I guess that's important. I don't buy a lot of physical products anymore. And if I do, a lot of times they're unofficial products. For example, I have like Sunken Isles, I have that, or the Seeker's Guide to Taverns. I have like the little adventurers books that I get, or the D&D Adventure Club, which actually just got the most recent one, Adventure 25, The Wandering Hut, where the players find out that Baba, the woman who runs the orphanage, might just be Baba Yaga, because literally it's the walking, come on, damn it, fucking camera, it's the walking chicken hut. There we go. Yeah, it's the walking chicken hut, the wandering hut. But yeah, I buy a lot more stuff that's digital, that's not, you know, related to D&D. For example, I have those Young Adventurers guides. I actually got another one of those recently. Oh, what the fuck? That's weird. Is that camera even on? Should be. That was the wrong button. There we go. There we go. Let's see if that works. No, that camera is not working. Oh, as well. The camera might just be messed up. Or wait, is it this one? Oh, it's that one. That's obviously the reason why I'm having so many issues. Oh, we gotta rotate that. Is that better? No, because now you can't read it. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's actually how I wanted to look at it. Yeah, it's been a bit since I talked about these, but I actually just recently got this one, Portals and Places. These books we've talked numerous times about with these books, but some some different creatures in there. We got hook horrors, wood elves. This is one more about the planes, different planes of existence, and making your own maps, like building your own worlds, making your maps, putting what lives in there. Yeah, different things regarding that. So this was a cool one, and I actually just got this one as well, which this one is bigger than the others. So this is let's angle this guy. Angle this. Yeah, there we go. So this one is actually considerably bigger than the other one, but this is the characters and quests. And while I actually think this is a good book, I don't necessarily know if you would want to buy this. You might buy this for 1 or 2 kids. It would be expensive to buy this for multiple, because this is meant to be written in. Okay, this has like whole blank pages where you're supposed to write stuff, because this is all about that particular player's character. We got a bunch of races, as we have touched on before. These books have touched on races before. We have all the different classes, obviously, except for artificer. And then this is one thing that I really liked about the previous book. That was we had the wizard's book, and we had the caster's book and the martial book. This one does the same thing. So this is like, oh, you want to play a magical character? Cool. Go through this flow chart and pick what you want to do. For example, does your magic come from within you, or is it a gift from a powerful being? Okay, it comes from within me. Do you study and practice magic, or do you just know it? I practice magic. Okay, you're a wizard. If you know it, does it come with or do you use it for explosives, big explosions, or to charm and trick your foes? Well, I use it to charm and trick my foes. Then you're a bard. And they have the same thing for the martial classes on the next page, which I actually really liked, because in the other one you had to have 2 separate books for these kind of flowcharts, and they're very much the same thing. So for example, the paladin and rogue have the key. What? My keycap is distracting me. Is it a D20? No, that's the symbol of the red lanterns. That's the tattoo I have on my arm. That was a custom keycap that I got made a while ago. Yeah, so really cool resource with this one. Like I said, this one is definitely more not meant to be used as like a resource, but this is like something that your kid would like use as time goes on. So for example, you have your character sheet where you circle your species. They also call it species here. I did note that you have your species, you have your class, what's their birthday, what's their hair and eye color, their notable features, draw a picture of them. And then you have, what's your story, like what's your background, describe the place where your character grew up, and illustrate a scene from your past. So something really cool to get some creative ideas flowing. Describe your character's family, and then draw their family tree. So this book is very much more about like describing your character and figuring out who you are as a character for your player. D&D is also trying to move away from the problem of race. They're just moving. Yeah, that's it. I know race has become like a big point of contention. I think it should be ancestries if we change it for anything. Ancestry, background, and class, ABCs. So, but yeah. I really liked this one. I thought this was cool. Also, I love the fact that they have illustrations of the 10 different dragon types, because they all have like different looks to them. So this was super cool to have available. But yeah, they got some really cool stuff in here. We have like creating your own bestiary. Creatures of ice and snow, creatures of the desert, creatures of the forest and grassland, of the underdark, creatures of the plains of water and air, and of the Shadowfell and the Feywild. So coming up with your own D&D monsters in here. And then like different traps, being a dungeon master. Yeah, this was super cool. I just recently got this and I kind of wanted to show it off a little bit. But going back to what we were talking about before regarding you know, buying physical products, I actually also got this recently, which I've been waiting for. The Old Gods of Appalachia. It's a full-on role-playing game. It's a D20 system that takes place in the like Appalachian area of the world. That's all about like more eldritch horrors and stuff like that. I have a big-ass map, but yeah, so it's like West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Kentucky. It's the whole Appalachian Trail, but it's a big like D20 system adventure or rule book for that, with an adventure that goes into it. So yeah, got this on a Kickstarter, so it's been a while and I finally got it. Let me turn off that camera. Fucking flickering camera. Yeah, no, this book is huge. This book is thicker than every other book that I have, so that's a thick boy. All right, how important is each of these to me? So digital content is equally usable on PC and mobile. Very important. I view all my stuff most, you know, on my PC, or I do most of my stuff digital, so having it usable either on my phone or on my my PC is very important. It's thicker than Sunken Isles. Yeah, it's about 50% bigger than Sunken Isles, so it's, let me see, it's 415 pages, so use that knowledge. All right, so how important is the best price? That's very important. I will look around for a better price. Fast shipping on physical products, yes, very. I don't like to wait for stuff. Digital content can be accessed quickly and easily, yes, 100%. You know, I'm gonna change that one to that. Digital content is accurate when compared with content, yes. Now this is actually going to be called into question somewhat. Digital content is accurate when compared with content in the physical product. There's a lot of times where changes are made, errata is put out that changes certain things, and they will change the digital, but obviously if you own a physical copy of it before they changed it, that's not going to be in there. So if you buy an older version of a book, it may not match what's going to be digitally available. Discount with another benefit associated with digital, and yes, this is important. I want to be able to have the opportunity to buy physical and digital. Digital content is shareable with friends, 100% needs to be. Availability of exclusive content, and digital content is integrated into available online systems, yes. Why else would you have it? All right, what is this? Please rank my top 5 considerations. 1 is most important. Okay. Digital content is shareable with friends. That is 100%. Digital content being integrated is number 2. This one being easily accessible. best price comes next, and that it can be accessed quickly. You know what? I'm gonna move this up. If I can get something that I can share with my friends, that's important. Like, if it's something that I can share out, I'm good. Then I'm gonna check for prices, then I'm gonna check for integration. Over the past 6 months, where do I typically buy physical versions of official D&D books and products? I actually buy those at a local store known as The Vault. So that would actually be a local hobby store. Also, Barnes and Nobles. I buy a lot of shit from Barnes and Nobles. So, but beyond that, DM's Guild, I actually did buy 2 books from them within the last 6 months. I got some Easy D6 stuff from them, and I also buy from Amazon the books that I just the D&D books that I just showed. I got from Amazon, and I have another one coming soon enough. Over the last 6 months, where do I buy digital? D&D Beyond. That's yep, and Drive Through RPG and DM's Guild. Have you created your own PCs? No, I have not. Yes, I have created my own PCs in the past. What resources did I use to make my first character? My first character was a half-orc barbarian named Kelf the Axe Wielder. He's up top up there, actually. I keep him around. And yeah, he's the one up there next to Cooper the Warforged. So he's a special place in my heart because he's my first character. He was made with the core rule book. That was all we really had at that time. So but I made him with that, and I was the friend who was familiar with D&D at the time. Yeah, here we go. Watch, play, and tutorial videos. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Back in the day, just scouring YouTube for as many videos as I could, oh god, it was called 5e Character Builder. It was an Android app. I'll tell you what, for years my friends and I used that app, and I remember I figured out a way to code into it to apply like homebrew stuff. That was a nightmare, but I'll tell you what, it worked, and it let us level up our characters, and it was until D&D Beyond came out, whenever that was like in its infancy. But I'll tell you what, it's so much better now. Have I ever been a dungeon master? I don't know. Have I ever truly mastered the dungeon? What year did I first DM? 2014, when I started playing D&D. Oh god, I don't know. I'm curious, actually. There's a part of me that my curiosity just got piqued. Hold on. I'm gonna look at something on another screen for a minute. Wow. You know what? I just realized right there, December 15th, 2014. That was when I bought the starter kit. Man, that's nuts. And then 2015, and I bought the core rule books. So there we go. That's when I had them. Because I remember I bought them digitally. I had the PDFs. No way. There's no way that was 2015. because I had these books the year that I proposed to my wife, which was 2014. But I must have just had digital versions, because I remember, oh yeah, I did have digital versions because I wasn't going to take these on vacation with me. So funny enough, when I got into D&D, I wanted to make my own campaign, and there's a book series that I have always loved called Del Toro Quest. If you ever get a chance, go and check out the book series. It's by the author Emily Rhoda. But there's awesome, there's actually, yeah, I always forget that there's an anime for it. But this awesome book series, I read this as a kid through middle school, and it very much shaped like my whole idea of like high fantasy adventure. But I wanted to make a campaign based on that. So I ended up going on vacation with my family to the beach, and I spent my entire week working on writing a campaign for me and my friends to play. And that was the first experience that I ever actually had playing. That was like early 2014. That would have been, oh, I can tell you exactly when that would have been that I was writing it. That would have been May. That would have been the week of May 5th, 2014, because that was the day that I proposed to my wife. So I wonder if I go back earlier, if there's dice or anything. No, maybe not. No, yeah. Oh my god, yo-yo strings. Do I have enough? Yeah, I have plenty of yo-yo strings. But yeah, that was the year right there. That was whenever the when I got the box set and everything, and then you can see here, obviously July picking up picking up the books, but I got all kinds of dice before that, and then I was making keychains. I made keychains with D20s and stuff. Yeah, just trying to figure out ways to make it work. Crap, those were the weird days. So yeah, when did I first DM? That would have been right as we came back, which would have been May. That would have been May. We got back from vacation, and I got my friends over my house within like the same like following week. Or no, you know what? It was before that. It would have been just before that, because we played first and then I went on vacation and wrote my first campaign. Yeah. What editions have I DM'd for? 5th edition. I have never DM'd for 3rd or 4th, so don't plan on it. What resources did I use to learn how to DM? D&D Beyond wasn't really a thing. It was videos. It was the starter kit. I didn't really use a lot of the Dungeon Master's Guide. Like, there was bits and pieces of it that I read, but yeah, I'm gonna say more than anything, watching videos on YouTube like Matt Colville, Guy Scamander with, you know, how to be a great DM and stuff like that, like Luke Hart from the DM's Lair. Like, those were the things that really set me on my course. In the past 12 months, what is my percentage of my overall D&D playing time spent as a DM? We're not talking about Pathfinder, we're talking about D&D. When was the last time I DM'd a Sunday? In the last 12 months, 100%. I'm a forever DM. What kind of D&D content do I use? I use official content from 5th edition. Very rarely do I ever use older edition stuff. Third-party publishers is my go-to. Homebrew, adapted. Yeah, I use all the homebrew. I put stuff on Reddit too. Yeah, I use homebrew for like half of my stuff. It's so much homebrew. What kind of campaign settings do I use? Forgotten Realms. I have used third-party settings, but it's rare. And I would say homebrew based off of that. Again, I really just use Forgotten Realms for the most part. Yeah. Typically, when I'm running a campaign, how much time per week do I spend prepping to DM? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have like a sit down and prep period. If I did, I would say that's probably about like an hour or two before the game, because I mean, a lot of my games are run on Sunday at 5:30. I get out of work at 4, so by the time I get home, I get sat down, and if I have to deal with anything at home, I have maybe an hour to like really do stuff. But I'll spend like hours the days before leading up to it. So I mean, I'm gonna say maybe 3 to 4, maybe more than 4, but I'm gonna hedge my bets and say probably 3 to 4 collectively over the like week or two. How much time do I want to prepare spending? More than I'd say probably where I'm at. Like the thing is for example, with my Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign, I prepared that whole dungeon over the course of like 2 days, and now I have that set, and that dungeon's gonna be ran for like multiple sessions, so there's not a lot of prep I have to do for that. But for example, my Phanland 5 campaign, when the players were arriving at Stormwreck Isle, I had prepared for that one like the day before, but I knew that it was only gonna be like 1 or 2 sessions there. So I wonder if they mean per campaign. I don't think they expect people to be running multiple campaigns. I mean, if that's the case, like there should be more options here. But this is probably for like each session. This is, in my opinion, this is probably just referring to like the session that week. I'm gonna switch this up. I spend so much more time like doing side prep that it's not even funny. Like research and stuff I still consider prep. All right, when was the first time I played 5th edition? 2014. Played it the year it came out. Well, that would have been, wait, I guess 5th edition didn't come out until later anyway, so how often do I play 5th edition in the last 3 months? More than once a week. I play every week, and then I play a game. I play a game every other Saturday. So technically I play 1.5 times a week. Over the last 6 months, about how many sessions of 5th edition D&D have I played per month? Well, I just said I play 1.5 games every week. So if I'm playing, I would be 6. Over the last 6 months, how many are played? 6. Yeah. I mean, well, okay, no, I guess it would be more than that. You know what? I guess it would be more than that, because in my other group, we do play sporadically. We have played in the last 6 months 5th edition D&D in my other, not my stream games or my library game, but a game with another group. So I have ran D&D for them. About how long is my average game session? 4 to 6 hours. 5 hours is the perfect time, or 5 hours is the time that I would like think about more. But 4 hours is where I start to hit a wall in a lot of cases nowadays. But 4 to 6 hours, I think, is where most people sit. In the last 12 months, where/how did you typically play tabletop? I don't play at home, or virtually with friends and family. Or yeah, okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Also, I play in a library. So there you go. What platforms or services do I use to play virtually? I don't use above VTT, but we have talked about that. I use Discord for 90% of it. What is Dungeon Alchemist? Why does that sound familiar? Oh, that was okay. I've looked into this. Yeah, that's the 3D one. Okay, that caught me off guard. Don't use Facebook Messenger anymore. Well, I use it, but just not for D&D. I don't use FaceTime. I used Fantasy Grounds for a bit. Or no, I didn't. I looked into it, but I don't want to pay for it. I bought Foundry VTT a couple times and then just got a refund because I don't use it. I don't use any of these. I've used Owlbear Rodeo, which will say kind of sucks. You have to pay for Owlbear Rodeo nowadays. They don't just have like the free version that they used to. So well, no, that's right, they do, but it's not just like a simple VTT anymore. But tell you what, Owlbear Rodeo has got a lot of good things going for it nowadays. So but it's just not the same as it was. I've obviously used Roll20, so, but I'm not gonna. I don't use Skype, don't use Tabletop Simulator, don't use Tailspire. I use Twitch, so I stream on it, so I guess we'll put that. And we're gonna put in here, Encounter plus a VTT, because that is my main thing. How many active players, including me and including the DM, are in the active groups I typically play with? Okay. Enter the group size for up to 4. Okay, so Phandelin 5, including myself, has 7 players. And Rime of the Frost Maiden has typically 7 players because we have 6 in that one. My library group also has 7 players, including myself. And my 4th group would be 6 because there's 5 players in that one. So 6 players in 3 groups that I run, and then this one, which is kind of like 5 people that kind of, you know, are here and there. How many different people do you currently play with in total? If someone, okay, oh god, I gotta count people. Okay, Coda, Glenn, that'd be, oh god, about 15 people, about 15 different people. Of those people you currently play with, how many did I personally introduce to the game? Steve, Stacy, Jared, Smith, Hannah, Justin, not Aaron. Aaron's the one that I didn't. Oh shit, I didn't even take into, hold on, I didn't even take into consideration my my library group with this one. That's 6 other people right there, so this goes up to 21. All right, so Jared, Smith, Hannah, Kevin, Justin, and then James, Bobby Joe, $11. I take that Steve credit. I smell smoke. It's not good, Glenn. Oh, wait, because I'm trying to think? Shut up. I get what you're getting at. Yeah, I would say it's probably like 10 or 11 people. So. Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, no. Yeah, 12. I had somebody else in my mind. All right. Which of the following 5th edition core rulebooks have I bought? I bought... Yeah, I bought these separately. I own all of them. Which of the following? I have each one of these. Which of the following have I bought? God. I have candle. Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on. Bought physical copies separately. Okay, I did not. I bought that there. Okay. There. Ghosts. Okay, hold on. I do own Horde of the Dragon Queen. I own Rime of the Frost Maiden. I own Journey Through the Radiant Citadel, but not physically. I own Out of the Abyss. I own Princes of the Apocalypse. I own Rise of Tiamat physically. I own this digitally. I own this digitally. Digitally. Baldur's Gate. I have, not only do I have Baldur's Gate, I have the collector's edition of that one. I have the special one. Dragonlance Shadow of the Dragon Queen. I have that digitally. That's the same thing. Keys of the Golden Vault. I have this digitally, but I want the physical version of it, so I'm gonna go seek that out later. I own Tales of the Yawning Portal, and I own Tyranny of the Dragons is just the remake of the other ones. All right. I own Ack Inc. I own Eberron. Do I have? No. I actually don't think any of these I have the physical. Oh wait, no, there we go. I have Mord and Canaan. I have both of those. Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. I have that. I have that, and then I have Volo's Guide to Monsters. I'm only getting this one digitally. Same with Fizzbands. I have Tasha's. I have Xanathar's. I don't have Mordenkainen Monsters of the Multiverse. That's actually the one that I don't have. Yeah. Wait, what is that? What am I looking at? Yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. Because I have the whole Tiamat thing. What do you do with physical copies of them? I display them as part of my collection. That's really it. So, and I'll share them if I have to, if I need to, if I feel the desire to. What do I do with digital copies? Reference them between and during sessions. Digital is my preference. What do I do with supplements? Same thing. I display them as part of the library. And this is reference them during and after. Which of the following have I bought? Oh! Okay. I have the Descent into Avernus dice. My friends bought me the Sapphire dice. I don't have Tactical Maps Reincarnated because I don't feel a need to have that. I have the DM Screen Dungeon Kit. I don't actually know if I have either one of those. Oh, I know what those are. I've seen them at Barnes & Nobles. I don't own either. I own the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica dice. I own the Rime of the Frost Maiden dice as well. I have the Lariel Silverhand Explorer's Kit. I don't have the Witchlight Carnival dice. I do not have either of these. Actually, I do have spell cards and creature cards. I don't have these. So there we go. I have a lot of dice over on my shelves. So which of the following accessories? I have not bought either of those, and I don't plan on it. That's just not my thing. Which of these have I bought? I did buy the Magic the Gathering Forgotten Realms cards. I thought those were cool. The D&D Adventure Begins board game. I don't have the Adventure Begins, but I do have Wrath of Ashardalon, thanks to Glenn. Which of the following types of accessories do I plan on buying? I mean, I plan on buying maps all the time. Buy maps all the time. How many people, including myself, use any of the core rule books I own? I don't know. I have a whole campaign where people can just access my shit. You know what? I'm just gonna say 10. I don't know. I'm gonna say 10. Just I don't know. I have like so many campaigns that I run, and the problem with that is that people can access the rule books from there. So more than 10? Is that more than 10? I don't know. I'm gonna say 10. I don't know. I don't know what would be a good answer there. Which of the following 5th edition core rule books have I used? Okay. Oh god. Modified content used and played? Yeah, I guess. Oh, you know what? Let me do that. I've never actually played. I've only ever read Curse of Strahd revamped. Only ever read. I don't think I ever modified. Oh, you know what I did? Yeah, I did. Red is published. Red is published. Red is published. Actually, I haven't dipped into Horde of the Dragon Queen. That's like the early stuff. Rime of the Frost Maiden, obviously. Journey Through the Radiant Citadel. Keys. Out of the Abyss. Haven't touched. I've read through. I started reading through Shattered Obelisk. I'm not fully through it yet, but I have started reading it. Rise of Tiamat. I've altered. I've done this one a few times. Nope. Wrong one. Bada bang, bada boom. I've just read these, read that. I've modified that because that was where the Warforged was from. This has a lot of new stuff, and I modify monsters all the time. This has a lot of content that I used in the past, so, and I'm gonna say for these, right? Yeah, just that. Which of the following accessories have I? What the? Really? Such a weird, like, weird double question. I use that. I use the Forgotten Realms ones. How important are the following when deciding to buy a book? Character backgrounds are slightly important. You know, I'm gonna put somewhat important. No, slightly. It's slightly. Character species and classes, very important. And subclasses. So, feats are somewhat important. Spells are somewhat important. Magic items are slightly important. Monsters are slightly important. Adventures are somewhat important. And lore and world information is somewhat important. Or slightly important. You know, I'm going to move the backgrounds up because I actually I've taken a fonder liking to more backgrounds. What currency do I use? US dollar, baby. The world's money. In the past 6 months, how much in US dollars did I spend on the following products? Well, I haven't bought one of those in a while. Adventures, $60. No, I guess it'd be 120. How much was? What came out in the last 6 months? Like, what recently came out? What would be an adventure? Shattered Obelisk. When was Keys from the Golden Vault released? Oh, you know what? I can actually check over here. That was September. Okay, so within the last 6 months, it was only the Shattered Obelisk, which was how much? I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to the price. Okay, $30. Why was I thinking 60? Oh, I'm thinking of a video game. That's why. Yeah, I would say that. Official 5th edition supplements. I don't know. What supplements came out in... And these are the adventures, but like what other books came out? Oh, Big Beast, Booze, Astro Guide. Oh, that was last year, yeah. So it's just Big Beast. So that was $30. So there we go. So $30. I don't spend anything on stuff like that. Branded board and card games, nope. Third party RPG, oh god, I don't know. I can't give you that information. I don't even know if I could give my wife that information. Shit. Pathfinder, like, I've bought Pathfinder products. I've probably spent hundreds of dollars in this. God. In 6 months? In 6 months since March? I don't know. God, I'm gonna try and be conservative. I'm gonna say easily $500. I'm gonna say easily $500 over the course of 6 months. Like, over the course of 6 months, I probably have. I don't buy a lot of dice anymore nowadays, so, but I actually did just buy a couple sets, so, and I know that was about $40. So that is that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say at least $500 over the course of a few months. I don't know. In the past 6 months, how much in US dollars did I spend on the following products? Services on D&D Beyond. Oh, well, I pay my subscription, so in 6 months, I guess with this on Beyond, it would have been $60, and then I pay $5 a month, so over the course of 6 months, that'd be $30. And I don't pay anything on Fantasy Grounds, so, or Roll20. Which of the following digital games have I played? There's no subscription to Baldur's Gate 3. What does that mean? Oh, I guess games that would have it. Okay, so I played older editions of Baldur's Gate. I've played Diablo 4. Sword Coast Legends. Man, I'll tell you what, this was one of my favorite games. It's not a thing anymore. You cannot go out and buy this, so don't ask. If you own it, the servers don't work. This was basically Baldur's Gate 3 before Baldur's Gate 3 was a thing. You could play this multiplayer. You could go out and adventure, but you had the ability, there was a DM mode with it, where a DM could generate a dungeon, populate it with monsters, and then their friends could go through it and play. And I absolutely, oh my god, Homet, that was one of the pre-made characters. Oh yeah, these were all the pre-made characters. I'll tell you what, I miss this game so much. It was so good, and it was so fun to play with your friends, and the DM mode was just phenomenal. And I miss that this game is not only you can't buy it, but if you have it, you can't play online. I played the MMO, the Neverwinter MMO. I played Dark Alliance, and it was garbage. I've played D&D Online. Never played Lords of Waterdeep. I've played Icewind Dale. I've played Neverwinter Nights and Planescape Torment, because I recently bought them and played each one of them for a few hours each. I have put many hundreds of hours into Idle Champions. Never played Warriors of Waterdeep. Do you follow D&D news I follow on Beyond, on Discord, Reddit. I do follow N-World occasionally. I will check that out. YouTube is my number one, obviously, and Twitch. In a typical week, how many hours do you watch? At least, kidding? In a week, in 7 days? In one day, I might watch, 5 to 6 hours of D&D related content. It's constantly playing on my phone. While I'm at work, I have D&D podcasts playing. In the last year, which family members, if any, have I played with? I guess siblings and cousins might be my niece and nephew. That's not really the case, but yeah. My wife doesn't play anymore. She would, but she doesn't play in the games I run. My mom doesn't play, and neither do my grandparents. And my child is not born yet. So, but my kid will be a D&D prodigy. How likely is it you would recommend D&D? Yeah, extremely likely. I do it all the time. Why do you say that? Because D&D is an awesome community. Let me rephrase this. D&D offers players the opportunity to expand on their own perspective and allow them to experience a world and life beyond their own. They are able to make decisions, good or bad, alongside friends and allies, and face the consequences of their actions together. D&D is a phenomenal cooperative storytelling experience, and I feel that everyone should experience it at least once in their life. There we go. There we go. D&D offers players the opportunity to expand on their own perspective and allow them to experience a world and life beyond their own. They're able to make decisions, good or bad, alongside friends and allies, and face the consequences of their actions together. D&D is a phenomenal cooperative storytelling experience, and I feel that everyone should experience it at least once in their life. I use the word experience so many times. How do you feel about the current direction of the game? I'm positive. I think there were some missteps here and there, but I think for the most part we are D&D is a positive direction. While there is a bit of trepidation regarding what the next edition of D&D will look like, and yes, I mean OneD&D, I am happy to say that I like what I have seen in the most recent UAs that have been made available. All right, have I played Magic the Gathering? I have. I used to play. I've never played this. What tabletop or digital games have I enjoyed? Wait, what? An autocomplete feature? Wait, will this... What tabletop or digital games have I enjoyed playing most in the last 3 months? I guess Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, these are the games. I haven't played any of these. Celeste of the Crown of the Magister, that was a good game. Greedfall, that was a hell of a game. I haven't played any of those. What are my top games? I don't know. I gotta look at Steam. AK Zalato, Baldur's Gate. I don't know. I'm just gonna put Baldur's Gate. That's the only one I think is applicable. In the past 6 months, which of the following RPGs I've played? Pathfinder. World of Darkness. I've played Vampire. I've played Hunter. We're starting to get into that shit. Yep. In the past 6 months, how much would I... Oh, I didn't spend shit. I didn't spend a single penny. Oh, wait, yes, I have. You know what? I'm gonna put this. I did buy the starter kit and the books, so there we go. I am a man. I am a man, and I am white as they come. Which represents my total family income? I guess this? I don't know. Hey, there we go. Thanks for completing the survey. You're welcome. All right. Just gotta close out some of my windows. Yeah, so that definitely wasn't the direction I thought today was gonna go. But you know what? Hey, sometimes things just work out, right? Right. All right, so kind of to wrap things up a little bit. I mean, we go for about 3 hours now. We're getting to the point where we'll be 3 hours, but I do have some questions that were asked over in the Discord. So as always, if anybody out there who's watching this has any questions, if you if you have questions that you would like me to answer, feel free to head over to the Discord. The link's above me, or you can click the about button below the channel and find your way over there. There is a lovely channel called the DM Advice Corner that you can go into and ask questions and get people to answer them. Folks like Hawketh and Mizroy and Nacho are over there answering questions, asking questions. Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff going on. So let me format this page real quick. All right, so go. Couple questions that were asked over in the Discord this week by Stacy. The first one there is, what if someone wanted to make a blind character? What might you advise to achieve this? Would you just advise against it? So I saw this the other day and I had to have a sit and think on it. Okay. Now, if a player came to me and said, hey, I would like to play a character who's blind, is that something I can do? In most cases, I'm not generally going to deny a player a character trait or opportunity if it's something that they would like to try. So to try and accommodate that, I would explain to them that it's going to come with severe penalties. Okay. Blinded is a condition in D&D. If a character is blind, they automatically fail any ability check that requires sight, and attacks against them have advantage and their attacks have disadvantage. Now, in my opinion, I also believe that this should be saving throws that require sight as well, because if a dragon is about to breathe fire on you, you are not necessarily going to see that coming. Okay, so I also believe that this should apply towards saving throws, and while I haven't had any long-term blinded effects, I would run this in my game where it applies to saving throws. Now, if a player wants to play a blind character and they're okay with this, then hey, guess what? Cool. You're just playing a character that cannot see, and you automatically fail these ability checks and you have these disadvantages. So play into it and do what you want. But if they want to play a character that is still feasible, that is still effective in combat and in any exploration situation, I would suggest that they take the martial adept feat and snag the blind fighting style. Now, blind fighting gives you blind sight out to a range of 10 feet. So that means that within that range, you know where creatures are, and you, like it says here, as long as it's not behind total cover, even if you're blinded or in darkness, and you can see invisible creatures within that range. So you can essentially see what is directly around you, but this would still impose a disadvantage on you, because while you have blind sight out to 10 feet, you would still be blinded by somebody shooting you with a bow and arrow from, say, 60 feet away, or a dragon about to breathe fire on you from 100, from 90 feet away, or a blue dragon shooting lightning at you from 70 feet away. You're still going to be you're still going to have your penalties. Okay. Blind fighting is good when you're up front in combat. So that's the mechanical aspects of it. Okay, that's the actual mechanical aspects of it. Curious notion, because a blind person is still surprisingly capable in situations I would. Okay, so that point brings me to my next point, which kind of goes in line with your third question. Blindness is a real physical disability that people have to deal with and live with in the real world. And Cinderblock Sally just put up a video about this the other day, or I saw it not too long ago, where it was talking about playing a character with multiple personality syndrome. And it's like, oh, this, how would you do a character like this? And he looked into it and he eventually came to a realization, you just probably shouldn't, because by taking something like this of, what if I want to make a blind character, you're now taking a physical disability and limitation that somebody actually has to deal with and is making it a trope and trait on a character. And maybe it's just best not to do that. I think it's fine if you are doing it in a respectful way. If you're doing it not just so that, you know, it can be that cool thing that your character can do, or that your character has. Again, that plays more into the whole multiple personality thing. But I just think, like, you have to really ask yourself, why do you want your character to be blind? Like, that would be the first thing I would ask, is like, why do you want your character to be blind? You know, that in itself, to me, is the more important question. Like, why do you want to play a blind character? To what aspect is that a favorable trait that you wish to possess? Because if we're looking at it mechanically, it's full disadvantage. Okay, if we make it so that they're blind but they can still see because of something else, like, I mean, fuck that, you know, this warlock thing, you know, oh, maybe they're blind but they see through the eye of their patron, like, and they can only see so long as they're holding that staff. Something like that would be okay. Hey, my god is, or my patron is a being that like my patron is an exarch of Helm, the Watcher, and he is you know, my god watches over me and I see through his eyes, but I have lost my, you know, I lost my sight in an incident, and my adventure began because of my lost vision, but I was given vision because of Helm. And maybe this is like a cleric or a paladin that has blind fighting, and they worship Helm and they get these powers, you know, and maybe they have something on their helmet that allows them to see, but if that's removed, they're blind. Because at that point it's like, okay, this is a mechanical thing and it's also mitigated, but you do have that penalty of, if the helmet's removed, you're completely blind. To your own character, you could still see through the helmet. I would imagine more folks who are blind or are close to someone who's blind for represent. Yeah, that's it. It's this is not a, this really wouldn't be a question that, like, this idea would be something where my initial point would be why. Like, why do you want to play a blind character? Now, if you're trying to make a character like, say, what's his face for Mortal Kombat, oh god, what's his name, Kenshi. So if you wanted to play somebody that was like a samurai fighter who was blind like Kenshi, then okay, you're playing a trope. And maybe you're gonna take the blind fighting and you're okay with those penalties. That's cool. But, like, you know, that would be my, like, first thing, would just be questioning why you want to play a blind character. And I would say just do it respectfully. That would be it. Like, that would be my advice, is do it respectfully, whatever you're gonna do. But if you want to have the mechanical benefits, take the blind fighting feat. Or just make it flavor. Again, my character wears my character is physically blind, but he can still see because he can sense auras or something like that. You know, make it so that there might be, like, physically blind, but they can still sense auras or something along those lines. Maybe character building with things that accommodate, things that help them see a pet. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, but that's it. That's like the helm for the paladin. You know, if there was a knight that got blinded because of something, and they you know, they were bestowed a helmet that was the symbol of Helm. You know, the Watcher is the name. You know, Helm is known as the Watcher. So maybe they put this on and they're able to see through it. So, but if that's taken off, then they're completely blind. So it becomes a thing where with that character, they protect that helmet above all else. And you as the DM could sit there and say, okay, well, somebody sees the symbol on the helmet, or they see that it's completely covered, and they don't know how you can see, so they rip the helmet off, and suddenly you're blind. Okay, you know, and it's momentarily until you get the helmet back. But again, that, you know, that would be how I would probably go with it. Like, make it so that whatever the whole thing is, it's more of a story element rather than trying to make it something mechanical. Now, obviously, if you want to have somebody that is doing that, again, I'd say do it respectfully. You know, don't want to make a blind character so you can kind of laugh and cavort and, you know, stumble around and be like, oh, I can't see where I'm going, whoops, bloop bloop, you know, and like stumbling into your player or your friends when you're in combat. So all right, so I'm going to answer this. So ask why to determine the reasoning behind wanting to play character with a disability. Utilize the blind fighting feat for mechanical or for the mechanical aspect. And then finally, put it into more of a flavor style versus a mechanical thing. And then put example, the helmet of Helm, allowing the paladin to see after being blinded. There we go. That's what I would answer. All right, so how do you typically describe how detect magic works with regards to the phrase any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic? Would magical creatures have a faint aura? What about wizards and sorcerers and others with innate magic? More specifically, sorcerers. What about fae? Are they also magic creatures? So I personally, and you should know this because detect magic has been cast in games that you have played multiple times. Are you talking about the blindness again? I guess I was curious about how to work in the mechanical to take away some of the disadvantages, like their pet or companion helps do things for them, perception done by their familiar. Well, so if you're going in that realm where you would have a companion that sees through it, you could work into that. Again, like, that's kind of in the same realm of more of a flavor aspect with like the helmet of Helm. You know, you, instead of having a helmet, you have an owl that sits on your shoulder, and you know, it's your familiar, so you're able to communicate with it telepathically, and so because of that, it describes the surroundings to you. And so as long as you're able to maintain you know, telepathy, like telepathic connection to your familiar, and your familiar is not blinded, you are able to effectively see. So that again plays into the idea of like the helm being taken off of your character. What happens when your owl dies? You know, what happens when your companion is targeted or you know, is caught up in a fireball and they die? If it's a pet, that thing is gone. If it's a familiar, that thing could be re-summoned. Otherwise you have to play as a Beastmaster Ranger, you know, so that you don't have that problem and you could re-summon them or revive them. or you're constantly having to cast Revivify. So you're with the aspect of, you know, the companion, you're trading one disadvantage with, you know, with another, kind of, you know, you now have the mechanical aspects of being blinded is no longer a problem, but now your companion becomes your lifeline to that feature. But that's very similar to the Helmet of Helm, allowing the paladin to be able to see after being blinded. So, and to that degree, that's going to be very specific to the character. Like, if somebody came to me and said, I want to play an elf ranger who has an owl companion, and my character is blind, and I see through my owl's eyes because we communicate, and I like, there's some magic between the two of us with our telecommunication that I see through his eyes. Well, no, because Find Familiar just allows you to see through their eyes anyway. So that's kind of, you know, a thing. So it's like, you know, I can see through his eyes and sense what he senses. So it's like, you know, that's how I see. So it's like, okay, cool. Like that's a thing you could do, because, you know, at that point you're not playing into being the, you know, like a stereotype when it comes to being blind. But again, if that owl were to die, you know, owls only have 3 hit points, I think. 1 hit point. Okay, it has an 11 AC and 1 hit point. Granted, it has flyby, so it doesn't get opportunity attacks, but, you know, 1 magic missile and that thing's gone, and then your character is blind until you either summon it back or until you make another connection with another creature. So, you know, end of the day, you know, you're kind of trading one advantage, or, you know, you're having to put your priority into something else. You know, you're having to protect that creature now so much more because it is your visual lifeline. All right. So how do I typically detect magic? So I've described this a few times, different ways, but for the most part, the way I describe detect magic is that when you cast that spell, the world around you begins to glow like different you know, different schools of magic, you know, glow different things. So, and different people have had different ideologies over the years of, like, you know, what color is what. This was a pretty popular one that I've used here and there. This was actually the one that I used for a whole campaign like setting. So, you know, like, if you go with these kind of colors, then something like this, where if you cast detect magic and somebody has, say, a wand of fire, okay, that wand of fire is going to give off a red hue, or, you know, like a red aura, and, you know, it can kind of just be whatever it is. So if there's, say, a summoned creature in the party, okay, that creature might be surrounded by green aura because it was conjured in, or you might see a door that's an illusion that has this kind of teal hue to it. So that's kind of how I normally do it, where, like, if I picked up, you know, this D100 and this had divination magic, there would be like a slight pink glow to it. Now, how to do that with magical creatures? Again, I would kind of just do it like I said with conjuration, where a familiar imp would have just a kind of green glow to them. That creature was conjured in, or is currently, you know, under the effects of a conjuration spell. As for wizards and sorcerers that have innate magic, I have described that before in different adventures and campaigns, where any character could be walking around with any number of magic items. So those characters, for example, would have certain things glowing. For example, here on Albina's character sheet, she has a dancing rapier. To me, that would be transmutation magic. So her dancing rapier would be orange. It would have a bit of an orange glow. Let's put that over there. Her berserker one would probably also be transmutation, but a potion of healing, that's going to be, depending on who you ask, evocation or abjuration. Mithril chain is not what, so adaptation, this one would also be transmutation. Armor of cold resistance, that's going to be evocation, or that's going to be abjuration. So this is going to glow with a slight yellow hue. The bracelet of friendship, that has a number of different things, but this one actually gives you a buff to your AC. There's the thunderous sound and a weapon dealing an extra radiant. So that in itself would be abjuration, evocation, and transmutation. So it would kind of have this like warm hue to it, where each one, it also has they can move up to half their speed. Yeah, so that would be transmutation, if that was magic at all. But yeah, that would be like how that would be determined. So that whole idea of you could be walking around with a character where they look like a rainbow, because of all the magic items that they're carrying. Now, as for somebody like a sorcerer that has innate magic, that would be something where you would want to work with the DM to see how they would do that. I personally would make it that they have a specific aura about them, but any character that has, like, you could argue any character that has access to magic, or that has innate magic, for example, an imp has innate magic. So, they are innately able to cast invisibility, which is an illusion ability. So they might have, like that subtle hint of magic to them. You would assuredly, if they were using it, that's how one way you could detect it. You could detect that magic. As for Fae, that's gonna come into question about like what Fae are you actually referring to. An Eladrin that exists out there has access to spells. It has innate magics, so it is possible that it would have its own aura, but that aura might be specific to that creature. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it would be, something you could give like a generalization to. But in my opinion, and the way that I personally run it, magic creatures do have faint auras. It's not going to be something like, with this D100, if this was a magic item, this could be something like, you roll this D100 and whatever it lands on is the success rate of whatever the next course of activity you are going to attempt. Kind of in a way of doing a not like guidance, What's the other one? What's that one divination spell? Shit. Why can't I think of it? Augury. That was it. So, for example, this D100 might allow you to cast Augury, but instead of it telling you, well or woe, you roll it, and whatever it comes into, you explain to it your course of action over the next hour, and you roll it, and it tells you, based on what it rolls, what the percent of success you will have with that. So it's like, I plan on going to this room, and we know there's an ogre in there, so I'm gonna use fire to kill it, and you roll it, and it's it comes up with like a 73. It's like, okay, you have a 73% chance of this succeeding. Again, that would be, this would give off like a solid glow of divination magic, but an Eladrin might just have a faint glow. They have access to magic rather than, they are exuding magic. Now, a sorcerer might have a little bit more. A wild sorcerer, for example, their aura might, shoot off in like different, spouts, kind of like solar flares and stuff like that. So, I might have been thinking when they are innately magic and hidden. Did this come up in your mind because of Runara and the fact that she was hiding invisibly in the library? And if somebody would have cast detect magic, would they have seen her? Is this the thing? Okay. Because I mean, I can tell you with that, dragons do have innate magic. There would have been a slight glow, but that's it. That invisibility is illusion magic. So, like, to use invisibility would reveal some of that. But again, that's just my perspective. So, objects with a specific spell or effect have a more solid and stable glow. Creatures with access to magic or innate magic have a subtle and often unique glow. Airbow. Bubba. He's a good boy. My little boy down there sleeping like a good boy. Yeah, he got a little piece of watermelon. Huh. All right. So there we go. That would be how I would do it. And lastly, do you think that in combat a critical failure could result in the character damaging or injuring? Wait, what did you say? I read thinking about it and then thinking in the past. Couldn't remember if you talked about it on stream. No. Do you think that in combat a critical failure could result in the character damaging or injuring themselves? Could, yes. Yeah, could, yes. Could it? Sure, always. It could always result in that. Should? The thing is that there's two schools of thoughts on this, okay? There's the school of thought that rolling a natural 1 and missing your attack is already enough of a penalty to suffer. So there's a lot of players out there who, and a lot of DMs out there who think that the fact that you missed your attack and possibly lost your entire turn, you know, think about low level characters, you know, up until you're level 5 for a fighter, you only have 1 attack. So, you know, that's one of those things where it's, you know, you've lost your entire turn. Now, giving some kind of, you know, success or failure with that, or, you know, not success or failure, but giving, you know, some kind of added failure to that, that can be used as a way to drum up more stakes. So for example, I used to use I don't even know if I could still find it. It might be in an old folder somewhere. Let me look real quick. Nope. Yeah, I don't know if I could ever find the one that I used to use all the time. But let me. Yeah, so something like this, for example, where, you know, when you roll a nat 1, you would roll on a table. Okay, so for example, this is a D100. So let me roll mine. That was a 52. So you lose your grip as you attack. Roll a DC 10 dex check, and on a failure you drop your weapon. I just rolled that. I rolled a 7, so that means that not only do I miss my attack, but I also drop my weapon. Now what does that mean? That means that on my turn I have to use an object interaction to pick up my weapon. That's now my action. So not only have I missed my attack, I now technically by rules as written, have to now pick up my sword, which could be rolled as a DM to be an object interaction, meaning I lose my turn because I can't make another attack. I still have my bonus action, mind you. But you know, like right here, miss what you thought was a critical blow, cause you to panic, end your current turn, you're surprised. So you can have these critical fumble tables where it's just as simple as you miss your attack, but it could also be you fall prone, take 3d6 damage, become unconscious, you know, for 1 minute, which some of them just sometimes don't make sense. So there's this, but then you kind of have to balance it out and introduce critical success tables where when you roll a nat 20, you know, oh, that you knock them prone, or you're able to use the dodge action, or you're able to take the disarm action and stuff like that. You know, the thing is that I used to use these. I used to have a table, and they probably in my closet with all my other old D&D stuff, I would still have my list that I used. It was very similar to this. But the thing is that, like I said, when you're running a game and your players critically fail their roll, it already sucks, okay? So that's a thing. Now, saying specifically, could a critical failure result in hitting or damaging another creature or themselves? I have done that in my games, and I actually just recently made a comment to that in one of my games where I think it was Glenn was trying to shoot between two characters, and he's like, can I shoot between them? I said, yeah. The only thing that could really hurt you there is if you rolled a nat 1. You know, if I want to have it where it's something where you're trying to make like some crazy attack, or you're trying to do something, you know, real nutty, and you roll a nat 1, well, maybe we can play into that. But also at the same time, I don't like to, you know, penalize and you know, apply these downsides to something that you just critically failed on. Sometimes it's just doing it for the sake of doing it, and I don't know, I stopped doing that years ago, just because it sucked for the players, and I felt bad doing it. You know, it's like, great, you already you missed your attack, you can't do anything else, and now I'm gonna you know, add insult to injury. You know, and yeah, they were always excited to find out, you know, whenever they got a crit hit, but at the same time, monsters could also crit hit against them. I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, how much would you love for an enemy to not only hit you, but to also, you know, for me to roll, you know, a D100 on it, and now you as a player have just been hit with a nat 20, and I rolled a 100, and I get to roll the extra dice above and beyond the normal critical roll, and you're gonna suffer a level of exhaustion, and you're gonna suffer a permanent injury. You know, it's like, how much of that do you want to happen in your game? And if you and your players are the kind of group that's okay with that, and if you want to have those kind of penalties and, you know, super celebrations when they happen, then awesome. I just don't care to do it anymore, because for one, it adds an extra dice roll that I don't want to keep track of, and two, it doesn't always make sense. You know, that's the main thing. Like, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. If I shoot, you know, if I shoot somebody with an arrow, you know, how is it that you're hit with a devastating force? You know, and it's one of those things that I just don't want to track anymore. So I'm gonna put here, could, yes, should, I don't use this system anymore, but to each their own. There we go. All right, so with that answered, I think that's actually gonna do it for me tonight. I didn't have much more I wanted to touch on. I kind of wanted to I will talk about this another day. You know, there's always other days for other streams, but I recently got my access to this awesome book called Phelan Presents Spectacular Shops and Services. This is a really cool book about different inns that they, you know, like here, Beginner's Luck. It's owned by William Chaucer. Its prices are average. It provides bed and beer, so it's an inn and it's a tavern, and it's also located in small and large towns. Gives a little bit of information, some reviews, which I actually really love these reviews. I think they're hilarious. A brief description of the exterior and interior, and they also provide maps. I do have maps for all of these, and then they give a description about the owner, how to roleplay him, what his quest is, and then also the different items that are on sale. So yeah, really like this. I think it's cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff in here that I wish to explore and take a look at. Each one of them is like a little 4-page spread So, for example, Death Benefits Funeral Home, oh, they'll cremate you for the price of an ale, but the price of a coffin could buy you the whole damn brewery. Yeah, absolutely love that. So, but yeah, I'll showcase that probably on Monday. It's kind of similar to Twisted Taverns, you know, it's different taverns and inns and whatnot that are there. But in my opinion, it provides a different system compared to Twisted Taverns that I would get more use out of. And then, yeah, the only other thing that I plan on talking about next time also is 2 subclasses that I haven't talked about before. I recently talked a little bit about this. It's the Bardic College of the Keeper. If you want to play a barkeep style bard with the ability to charm folks and for them not to even know, and also to make some cool culinary concoctions, and also a Bardic College of Serpent Sales for when you want to be a potion slinging snake oil salesman. So you can also just check those out if you go to my Discord and go to the Homebrews channel and check the pinned comments, or check the pinned messages, because Kelf's Compendium is over there, and that'll bring you to this, which has all of the new stuff that I have. So definitely check that out in your own time. But with that, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's been about 3.5 hours, and my dog wants to go out. So that is going to be something I'm doing right now. So y'all have a wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow for the next episode of the First 15. And yeah, with that, good night.